Welcome to the inaugural episode of the Goober's Guide, a show where I do not tell you how to be effective with the tools you're given, but I will tell you how to do goofy stuff with them. So before I get started, let me just give a brief rundown as to what this series actually is and answer some questions. Basically, this series is a guide on how to do X or Y with a certain thing in a video game that I like, with some obscure advice that nobody really talks about, and some funny put in, some funny jokey jokes. And before you ask, this will not be an exclusive series to TF2. I already have like 3 videos covering other games, but I will try to cover all 9 classes in order of the other stuff. So yeah, maybe expect other hero shooter games from other people, and maybe even some bigger games entirely. But for right now, we're talking about the Bostonian boy wonder, God's canonical gift to women, and the son of Tom Jones, and definitely not some French bastard, Scout TF2. As Scout, your job is to be an obnoxious little fly and using your hidden Bostonian superpowers of super speed and double jumping to get around the map and get as close to enemies as you can and shoot them in the face with your really cool shotgun, and then miss every shot with your pistol. And I guess you have a baseball bat, I guess, but you know, that's dumb, we'll get to that. But because Team Fortress 2, underneath all of the weird game design mechanics and really dumb hats, it has weapons. So let's go over which one Scout has. Alright, let's start with Scout's melees because they're easy. Use the Rap Assassin. Alright, look, Scout's other melees kind of suck doo-doo feces. Stock is stock unless it's fish. The Fan of War is only good in NBM and is a bit redundant. The Sandman. The Atomizer, it's too slow to deploy for that third jump to really come in clutch. The Boston Basher is actually alright if you don't miss with TF2's jank-ass melee mechanics. The Sun on a Stick. The Candy Cane is alright until, you know, soldiers and demos pick you up and just launch you into the fucking sun with any amount of explosive damage. You're just never gonna live. So, and then there's, you know, the fucking Rap Assassin, which just gives you a viable third... It gives you a third viable source of range damage with your little projectile ornament ball, at the exchange of doing piss poor actual melee damage. But, you know, technically speaking, the only real melee weapon to give you actual passive downsides is the Candy Cane and the Sandman, so anything else is on the table, really. Okay, Scout's secondaries are a bit more palatable and creative, and none of them I can really say are straight up bad. Let's start with the guns. This gun, stock. The stock pistol is, well, it's really good. It's a stock pistol. It just, shoot people, they die, sometimes. Pretty huge spread, but you know what's cooler than that? These two fucking things. The Winger gives you more mobility and stopping power in exchange for a tiny baby clip. And the Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol gives you basically just a really good way to sustain yourself in the middle of fights by giving you nice healing on hit. Very good pistol, like insanely good. Just use whichever one tickles your fancy. But let's say whatever tickles your fancy is throwing random bullshit for some reason. Then Scout's got even more secondaries for you, like the Meat Cleaver. The Meat Cleaver is, well, a meat cleaver. You throw people at it and they bleed. So, pretty amazing for choke points and stuff. And then the Mad Milk, which is, well, my script here just says, say cum, ejaculation, and semen. So, that. Also, it helps heal your team because, you know, throw it, deal damage. Pretty good for support. Semen, I guess. Laugh. I guess you could use the Mad Milk to just win almost any 1v1 you end up in because, you know, I won't judge you. I will. I hate you. And last but not least, you got Scout's iconic sippy drinks, starting with the Bonk Atomic Punch. You sip it, and you cannot take damage or deal any damage for, you know, the set period of time. I forgot. But, you gotta be careful though, because any damage you will take slows you down, so somebody could easily chase you down, and without your speed, you are a sitting fucking duck. You're basically a cow waiting to be tipped over. Man, Imagine if a game gave you complete and utter intangibility, but then just like didn't give you a downside after the fact. That would be pretty stupid. Last but not least, you got the Criticola, probably Scout's most hated weapon for some reason. Yeah, you can pump out the heavy damage, but you know, if somebody looks at you funny, you kinda die, so I don't really understand the hate. I guess if you combine it with one of the guns you see later on, it could be kind of annoying, but then again, kill him, swat him, breathe on him, fucking rip him in half. But now here we are, the peak. Basically what makes or breaks your entire scout loadout build. Your primaries, your scattergun. And I'm gonna go through these from worst to best because, you know, just easier like that. Easily the worst scattergun is the backscatter. It just takes the Fan of War's redundancy and cranks it up by 1,000. Because at least your team can capitalize on the marking for death mini crits that the Fan of War provides. It's only you getting the backscatter, and you gotta go all the way around to make sure you're behind. You gotta know what the game counts as behind the enemy. And the accuracy debuffs, you gotta be really close, but if you're gonna be really close, why not just use any other scattergun? Dumb, bad, and I don't like the design of it. So, fuck you, backscatter. Alright, second worst, kinda sucks I have to give it to it, the baby face blaster. To be honest, I want to make a whole video dedicated on this gun because it's such a fucking weird case and I like it so much, but I hate it. Basically, gun go bang, when gun go bang and hit people, you move faster, but if a puff of air hits you in the face, you lose all of your boost, which means you die immediately. So, yeah, pretty bad and dumb. And of course you got the shortstop, which trades your close range burst damage to more medium range consistent damage. Take more push force, got 4 shots in the clip, and you can fucking shove people, which is, that's definitely a mechanic in the game. It does 1 fucking damage. Why did they add that? The force of nature is just sort of there. Like, hey, that push force is pretty cool when it actually happens. I can't tell you how many times I'll shoot somebody near close range and then they'll just take no push force. But hey, the ragdolls are funny, I guess. That's pretty cool. Oh yeah, and that gun is an affront to double barrels in any video game ever. Unlike, oh my god, dude, the soda popper fucking rules, dude. You get that fat burst damage, no weird pushback mechanics, and when you fill up the hype meter, you become a flying annoying little shit, along with being really, really fast. Amazing, peak side grade, and epic. However, the stock scattergun just sweeps. It's just so good. It's just such a good gun. Not only is it probably the best option overall, but fucking bang, bang, people just die. It's so cool and slightly arousing. 11 out of 10 best scattergun in the game. I can't wait for its sequel. They're coming directly to Blu-ray. So yeah, you can see a lot of possible synergies, like you can just use the shortstop, meat cleaver, rap assassin, just become just the mid-range registered trademark. You can just use the soda popper, Criticola, and any melee ever to just delete people with the mini crits. There's a lot of synergy, but it all basically envelops around the idea of being close to shoot people and then get out, because, you know, that's what Scout is. So yeah, find your own little neat set, but make sure to experiment. Scout's probably the best class that rewards experimentation like this, so yeah, go get it.
But H-man, how do I actually play the Scout, though?
Oh my god, bro, what the fuck am I supposed to do? What am I, your teacher? Am I here to show you how to fucking do everything? Oh yeah, I am. So, as stated in the beginning of this monstrosity, Scout relies heavily on his great movement, so you're gonna wanna either play Dance Dance Revolution to get in front of the enemy to blow their fucking heads off, or you're gonna want to sneak around back like some sort of Frenchman who is definitely not your father if you want to catch him off guard and shoot him. Either way normally works. It really depends on the classes you're facing and what's directly in front of you. You could also just sweep damage. Sweeping is basically when somebody else does most of the damage, and then you just run up and kill a bunch of people. Sweeping's really good when you're playing with soldiers, demos, maybe even some heavies, snipers if they're on comms. So yeah, pick your poison, but in a traditional sense, you'll probably end up bouncing back and forth between 3 styles. Or, you could just always stick to one and then die when people learn from your goofy mistakes, and you can rage in chat like a fucking toddler. Go back to Overwatch. Oh yeah, the other classes in the game. Classes on your team, you don't really interact and mess with them that much. You either throw your milk, mark people for death, do whatever. I will say, Scout makes an underrated bodyguard. Like, if you're really low on health, when other people are really low on health, I like to just follow them to their health pack, because nobody expects a Scout to just come blasting out of nowhere to help some random demo man at 4 HP. So yeah, if you'd like doing that. So, in general, Scout's team role doesn't really do a lot. I think Scout is tied with Spy for having the most least important life on the general team. Even if you're hard carrying, murdering everybody, spawn camping medics and snipers, people are still gonna be like, oh yep, there goes that guy. So, yeah, it's more so with enemies where Scout's real interactions shine through. From left to right on the class selection From left to right on the class selection screen, Scout v Scout, just work on your aim training, honestly, just who will come out on top, just bang bang, one of you will die or you'll both give up and start taunting. Scout v Soldier, usually it goes pretty smoothly unless the soldier's running a shotgun, in which case, who will come out on top, shoot gun, bang bang. I will say though, I am completely biased with this, I fucking hate soldiers run the gunboats, because it basically just negates the one plus side of getting as close as possible, and it's making explosive classes self-damage themselves. I just hate getting up close to a soldier and just shoot like 3 rockets point blank, I die, and then I see that he only took 7 damage, and I'm like, oh, and this also goes for demo, but try not to jump when fighting soldiers, because, you can easily predict where you're going to land, so they can just shoot a rocket. And if they're using the direct hit, you better start praying, buddy. I don't know if this is a controversial take among Scout players, but I'm under the impression that Pyro is Scout's soft counter, mostly because he can do his job in close range much easier than Scout can. Not better, easier, because the Scout has to, aim his shots and 2 or 3 shot the Pyro, while Pyro just has to keep holding down mouse 1 on the Scout, and then he might just die from that. The Scout could kill the Pyro, and then the Scout dies from Afterburn, which is basically a win. Whatever the fact happens. Or they can, delete you with a fucking flare. I can't tell you how many times that I'll just be lit. Like, a Pyro will just fucking light me on fire for a second, and then just click on me, and I evaporate. Or they, they could use the fuck you, I win because I shot at the floor gun. But, if a Pyro really does bother you that much, just use Mad Milk. You shouldn't really be targeting Pyros unless they're really out of position or in your face. So, yeah, Mad Milk and the Candy Cane can help put a stop to most Pyro encounters. Alright, Demo Man is probably my second favorite class in the game in the fight, probably because of his nice, solid hitbox. He just pow, doesn't even, just so good. But a quick rule of thumb, basically, the moment you see a sticky bomb launcher from a demo man come out, that's when you just hold W and just run at him, because, most of the time he won't be able to get a sticky ready to murder you immediately. So then he'll have to switch to either his grenade launcher, which he'll risk self-damaging since you're super close up, or his melee. In that case, you just quickly back up and stay in that good range, but not in melee range. But, TF2 melee, so be careful. Oh, and fighting Demo Knight, as long as they're not on max heads with the Islanders, you should be safe. But if they are, you might as well switch class. You're not fucking getting them unless you fucking crit. Alright, Heavy, my actual favorite class to fight, because, giant meat wall. There's not really a way you can mess up fighting Heavy, unless, he sees you and guns you down like the fucking gross little nematode you are. Yeah, it's, just get behind a Heavy, especially if they're actively shooting, because then, they have to risk, oh, do I turn around and kill this fucking disgusting Boston resident who's trying to murder me, or do I kill everybody else in front of me? I will say, though, if he has a medic, just go for the medic instead. It's not worth trying to chip out a Heavy getting healed. But yeah, go fuck him up. Fuck that dude up. Engineer is Scout's hard counter. Well, the Engineer's Sentry is Scout's hard counter, because, it doesn't matter how fast quick you move, what drink you drink, what primary, secondary, melee, whatever, the moment that you're in sentry range, you're dead. You're dead to either its absolute damage or the fucking insane push force sentries have, especially level 1s. Don't use Bonk Atomic Punch, don't, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work unless there's literally like a 2-second gap between the sentry shooting you and you getting by another source of cover. It's not gonna work. Just chip out the sentry from long range if you can get an angle on it. If not, just let your team handle it, or just, you know, switch to Demo Man, which what I always do. But if you catch an engineer with no sentry, it's usually kind of easy. He's got that nice solid hitbox like Demo Man, so it should be easy to just click on him twice and he dies, unless they're fucking some insane 90 bajillion IQ player. But in that case, they'll probably just end up switching and not playing engineer, because engineer is for nerds. Well, there's not really a combat encounter for the medic specifically. Shoot them, hopefully. Most medics will either just not shoot back or immediately try combating you with their primaries, but they're not really gonna do a lot. What you should be scared for, especially if you're a casual Cody, is the... this is inevitable. This has happened to every person who's played Scout at all. You get a medic, you shoot him, he looks at you, immediately Uber Saw, snap, dead, you don't even know what's going on, you see in the kill cam, he's at 45 HP, now he's got full Uber, and then your entire team dies. So yeah, I know random crits shouldn't really be a factor of this sort of scenario, but god damn it, for if I had a nickel for every time I got instantly deleted from the video game because the medic was like, ooh, ooh. So yeah, keep that in mind if you get up close, if you're a casual Cody. Sniper, kind of the same with the medic, but it drastically changes depending on skill level. Basically, if it's literally medium to low, you could just try and be an asshole and just fucking, once again, Dance Dance Revolution, hit every key on your keyboard and run forward towards a sniper and catch him off guard. But if they're even in the higher echelon, you're gonna just want to flank 100%, and only, I can't stress it enough, only shoot when you are in two-shot kill range, because you know, they'll flick, headshot, you're dead, and nothing gets put back to normal. Now if it's a good enemy team you're fighting, their sniper's gonna be nestled within their center core, so skill level will be irrelevant at that point. They're gonna kill people because that's what happens when a sniper's left unchecked, because sniper is definitely the class. But just be careful, just flank. If you can't flank, pray that your other power classes can do something about it, or just, you know, switch to sniper and see if you can beat him. And then there's spy. Once again, no real in-depth combat reaction. If you see a spy, shoot him. You shouldn't really be on a spy's radar. I'm convinced 75% of the backstabs on scouts are because you accidentally backed up into the intentional target and the spy just went whatever. But you see a spy out, shoot him with your gun. Throw Mad Milk at him so he's easier to track, or hit him with a cleaver so he's easier to track and you're dealing damage. Kill him. I don't know, man. Alright, time for some miscellaneous tips that I didn't know how to put into the rest of this video. Again, I feel like this is going to become a running theme for my videos. But anyway, try and get to know map knowledge, more so where health packs are, because you're going to need to rely on them since you don't want to bother your medic, because once again, you're not an important key member of the team. But only really mess with medics when you're really, really low and their medic isn't doing anything. But yeah, know where health packs are so you don't have to bother the medic and whatever. And also know where you can jump on certain maps, what you can reach, what you can't reach, what you can reach only with certain items. Yeah, good stuff to know, especially when you're in the middle of a firefight. You can just pull out some cool map knowledge that the enemy team wouldn't expect. So it'll be like, this is just a personal tidbit, but try not to be over-reliant on jumping. Just like I said earlier, jumping can even be a hindrance to fighting any projectile-based class in the game. So, I just try and stay grounded. I try and use my grounded movement speed more than actually jumping. Jumping I use for mobility, or if I genuinely see a perfect opportunity to jump. So, yeah, try and be more... Just play around with your WAD key and just learn some strafing, learn stuff like that. Pretty cool. Honestly, just load into a dead server and see what you can do, or just in spawn before a round, just fuck around with WASD, see how fast you can move, and try and keep your crosshair in the same area, since that's a big part of scout stuff. Strafing, aiming, shooting. Easy peasy, easy, super duper easy, dummy. And I'm about to drop the biggest piece of knowledge that can help a developing scout player, not even scout name. If you want to play scout at all, this will fucking help you out so much. Listen. Change your crosshair and make it smaller. I shit you not. I have this many hours on Scout, and it was kind of shit for a lot of them because I would use the default crosshair, and it was small but not like, actually tiny. And I would use that, and the shots I was hitting, I was like, I feel like I could be doing more damage, like I'm not accurate enough. So, on a random whim, I just switched to a literal just dot circle crosshair and made it even smaller, made it green so it stands out, and then I went on my first 15 kill streak I've ever had, and I was just like, it's like in Dragon Ball Z when they take off the fucking weighted clothes, dude. I fucking just shattered a limit, and I just immediately became a better scout player. It's fucking insane, and I wish I fucking did it. There's so many hours I was shit. God fucking. So, yeah, that's about it. That's all I can think of for Scout at the moment. I'll probably, who knows, maybe if I just randomly think of a bunch of other stuff, I'll make a little addendum piece. But that's it. That's the first episode of Goober's Guide, everybody. Fucking, oh, yeah. I'll fucking drag in some applauding people. Everything in. Oh, yeah, these guys are applauding. Hell yeah. Let's get this fucking series to 7 bajillion episodes to the point where it stops being fun to watch. So, yeah. That's about it. Who will the next episode be on? I don't know. If it's gonna be TF2, I'm immediately going from a class that I'm well versed in to a class I should basically say nothing about. Fuck me. That's it though. Later, nerds.